damage now. More TPs coming. This is Sven this time, but it was a TP after Darkseid already TP'd, so it was a very, very long TP, and as a result, wasted gold again from the Sven.
Yeah, he ends up canceling it, and we'll just walk to the top lane.
Still no boots.
Bootless here. Yeah, this is a bit rocky for the Sven. He is very low on the CS chart, actually behind that of the Lina, so maybe it will become a support Sven at this point as Fly is here, racking up farm, already has Arcane Boots.
That's actually really amazing. And if he gets a fast level 6, it could be similar to what we saw the previous game, where he goes on a rampage, continues to get solo kills versus cores, and ends up having a huge impact.
Yeah. Z-Freak level 3 on the Spirit Breaker, 1-1-1 opener. Doing what he can. Has 1-0-0 in terms of KDA. All things considered, having a decent time.
Mm-hmm. I think he's pretty happy with that as a whole. Moonmeander might get caught again. They're swinging on from the backside. There's the Rocket Barrage doing a lot of damage, but not quite enough.
Yep, surge enough to get him out.
He's actually taking so much this game, just in the bot lane.
He's going to have to walk back to the well. Oof.
Those damage tank stat, I would like to know that one. He is just
damage taken.
The damage.
Looks like mid lane is just an even farm fest here. Both Puck and Shadow Fiend very comparable on that CS chart. Whoa, Fly! He gets the snipe onto Bone 7. Very nice.
How does Lina do this, man? How does Fly keep doing this? It's amazing.
I don't have a good answer for you. He's got the skills. That's all I can say.
Maybe he was just jungling by himself, and he's like, oh, hey, there's a hero here, and then he gets the kill.
Yeah. Well, we caught the tail end of that one. Big Daddy poking around the mid lane here. It is 5.5 minutes, so sniping the courier, much easier said than done, though, hoping the complexity will be just sloppy with it. They will not, however. Flying it over the tree line, being very cautious with their donkey.
So Suno Melon's having a much better game than the previous one, which means that his farm could actually be ridiculously insane by the 10-minute mark, as we usually expect to see from Shadow Fiend. So, and versus a Puck, there is kill possibility there, but again, their gank is a bit weak.
Look at this control with the courier here, though, just leaving it over the tree line.
I mean, I think he's saving it for the bottle crow either way. Z-Freak may be in trouble, gets initiated on by Fada, throws the orb for the rune, makes Suno Melons make a hard decision, and he ends up getting the rune stolen from him.
Oh, yeah, regen picked up by Swindle.
Got it? What? I thought for sure Puck would have grabbed that. I guess he was a little early.
Yeah. All right, well, good stuff for Swindle. Gets a regen in the bottle, almost level 7. Take a look at net worth, and he is number 1 by just a couple hundred gold over the Puck. The off lane for Complexity is now going quite well. Fly, cutting the creep wave, pulling into the easy camp. He's found his level 6, and now him and Ziz will start to pressure this Tier 1 tower.
Ziz finally picking up his boots, which is really what he needed there to be more survivable. Those first couple lanes, well, Fly in trouble, took a lot of damage from the small camp here, and he's going to have to ulti this before he dies, I think, but No Tail doesn't have boots yet, whereas Fly does. I can't believe he has that advantage. There's the nuke. They can't see him. He's invis here. I'm guessing they don't have detection.
No detection.
Is there some on Z-Freak, though?
That is the question. There's not. And he'll even cancel the charge before he gets there.
He is quite stuck.
Well, that's unfortunate. We'll be able to charge out here in just a couple seconds, but less than ideal.
So luckily for Fly there, doesn't end up feeding his killing spree. He's going to have some gold given when he does end up dying eventually.
Mm-hmm. Shadow Fiend still farming very nicely, now starting to work the jungle. He's got a double stack here at the hard camp. Nothing at this hard camp here, but still utilizing the advantage of Shadow Fiend on the Radiant side. You can poke in and out of the lane. Moon still struggling here in the safe lane. Only level 5. I guess it could be worse.
He's getting set up on a little bit here. Rubik's trying to wrap around. Puts the ward down. They probably spotted him through the trees. Yeah, there's the ping.
Yeah.
Man, they are so good about spotting out ganks.
They really are. Moon playing much more conservative now, like you mentioned before.
They do not know No Tail is sitting up there. Kind of good positioning. Ooh, he actually breaks the clarity potion. Nicely done there. He attacked while he was going invis, so he doesn't actually waste his invis. But if he was slightly wrong about that timing, he would be 100% dead.
Yeah. Tower ends up going down. Last hit does go to Sven. Some recovery gold there. Radiant will use their glyph, but they won't be able to mount a defense. Nether Blast taking this tower down very quickly, and they will give the last hit to Envy on his gyrocopter. Envy having a much better time this game than he did last match as well.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2 on net worth and farming up to his heart's content.
Yeah, we're going to see him be a huge threat this game for sure. If he does get the early start that he's used to, I know for a fact that he's going to play well. But sometimes you get behind and you get tilted and you think that the only thing you can do is try to do greedy farming. And I've heard Envy say that, well, just do some greedy farming where you know you're going to die. Gank on Moon here.
Moon, smart idea to run across the other way. He'll try to juke him out. Call down will fall just a little bit short. As will the orb of or illusory orb. But yeah, telekinesis catches him. Nowhere to go. He had some stick charges. Won't even try to burn those. They'll instead use this time to pressure the Tier 1 tower mid, double damage up on Swindle, making this a pretty easy tower siege. Even Ziz on his way over. He's popped the War Cry now. God Strength coming up in about 10 seconds. They will secure that tower. So good exchange here for Complexity. They end up trading 2 for 1 in terms of Tier 1 towers.
I think they're pretty happy about that because they completely opened up their opponent's jungles. And while C9 is doing pretty well on the Gyrocopter, that's really their only carry potential. So if they know where he's probably farming, or at least they guarantee that they have control over his jungle, then it becomes a bit easier to get those kills.
Yeah, Misery getting dove here. Laguna Blade to the face. Not enough to finish him off. Fly gets taken out as he's the victim of a Dream Coil. A little over-aggression there from Complexity, and they get punished.
Yeah, rare mistake from him. He really thought that Rubik was going to die to that, and he didn't. So Killing Spree goes to Puck instead, and that's going to get Puck a very fast Blink Dagger.
Yeah, that's a good point. One of the worst heroes on from Complexity's perspective to end that spree. Now Fata only about 400 gold off the Blink, and that's when he can start to erupt on this Puck and start to take control of the game and create some momentum for his team. He's already 1-0-1. So even though he's been farming a lot, still has had an impact in these few skirmishes.
And they have very dynamic ganks. This game, unlike last, they can gank with Puck, they can gank with Bounty, Rubik, and Pugna, all very good. Even Gyro, all 5 of their heroes can form combinations to gank, so it's going to be a lot harder for Complexity to anticipate and predict where those are coming from.
Yep. We got a charge here from the Spirit Breaker. Looks like he'll be going on to Big Daddy.
Got a
this
dust.
time he's got detection. Yeah, dust and sentries. He will dust him up. There is some support inbound, but Fly just a little bit too far back. Connects with the Dragon Slave. Not enough damage for the kill, as there is no Laguna Blade still on cooldown for another 5 seconds or so. Meanwhile, in the Radiant Jungle, Bone 7 walks into the danger zone, gets the Nether Ward down, but it doesn't matter. It'll just be extra gold going the way of Complexity as they get a freebie on the Pugna.
Yeah, Moon uses the wall there, but I think that's completely fine. It's actually a quite big nuke at level 150 damage,
yeah.
And it's a spell that only costs 125 mana. The cooldown's really big, but he doesn't even have vacuum levels yet, so it just helps guarantee those kills. It's a great spell to cast in the early game in any gank situation like that, where it's kind of close.
Yeah. And Swindle Melon's going for a very similar build compared to last go-around. Aquila power treads to get things started. Now right into the mech so they can start grouping up, continue sieging, and do what Complexity does best aside from sieging towers, take team fights in the mid-game.
So Ziz is a bit underfarmed compared to where he was in the previous game, just sitting on treads with the wand here. But he is rotating a lot, so his playstyle hasn't changed very much. And if he plays as well as he did in terms of ganks, he's going to be able to recover this no problem. But his mana pool is still a little bit low, and it's not quite as easy as it was in the previous game because his attack speed's slower, all that stuff. Misery's going to die for sure, though.
Yep.
Good attempt on him, but
Not living through that one.
Complexity did a good job going in there. They didn't completely group up. They didn't let the telekinesis make that harder than it needed to be. Just a very easy kill there for Complexity. Sven gets a kill, and they're trying to take another tower to destroy the farm position of C9.
Yeah, now we talked about ways of dealing with... Oh, we'll hold that thought here as Eternal Envy gets initiated on by Ziz. He might be in a little deep here. Dream Coil gets whiffed by Fata, but they will just let Ziz go down. The rest of Complexity on the back foot is now Bone 7's here doing a lot of damage to Z-Freak. Will get stunned up by Fly. Spirit Breaker charge going the other way to make the escape. Big Daddy walking over a Sentry Ward, but they won't have any way to punish it. Meanwhile, on the backside, Fly gets left behind, turning into a disaster for Cloud9. Z-Freak trying to get aggressive. He will dust, but ends up falling as well. It's a 3-0 with Swindle now on the run. Moonmeander nowhere to be found, just split pushing in the bottom lane as Swindle will eat his stick charges and live. Oof.
So the game is just a lot harder for Complexity than the previous one, and they're not executing their team fights nearly as well. I feel like they needed a ward on the high ground there to really know what was going on, but they're actually getting contested at their towers, and maybe C9 did need to do that more in the previous game, because now they're actually getting kills out of it, and they're punishing mistakes that Complexity is making.
It also felt like just a miscommunication with Ziz going in so deep up here, and the rest of his team kind of isolated on this side of the plateau. They couldn't really commit as a unit. Now down in the bottom lane, Moonmeander initiated on by the stolen Charge of Darkness from Misery. He will be okay for now. Again, those stick charges coming in handy, and he will just surge back to safety.
Yeah, he's got a cloak too, and Puck didn't have his ulti, so...
Yeah.
I mean, the fight wasn't even that amazing for C9. The Puck ended up... I think that's why he went forward on the gyro, because he was anticipating getting Dream Coiled, and the Puck Dream Coil ended up completely missing. But once he positioned himself towards the tower, his best chance there was really just right-clicking Envy and trying to go for that kill. And he was kind of close, but really doesn't have enough damage here. They're going to find Eternal Envy, though, need the Stormhammer. There's the first one, and the stun follow-up, and that is a dead hero. Yep. Shadow Fiend shifts over, but I don't think he was going to get that kill regardless, so...
Okay. Oh. My Valve phone is ringing. Sorry, Valve. In a game right now.
We're busy.
All right. So, yeah, nice little gank there for Complexity deep in the enemy jungle, pressuring MB, who, although farming much better than last game, still isn't really balling out of control. He's going for this exact same build with the HOD to farm the jungle, stack Ancients with that neutral creep, and we're still seeing Swindle with very impressive farm. Number 1 on net worth by a nice little margin. We'll just glance at the graphs, and, well, it tells a pretty good story about how close this game is, though Complexity has been consistently sitting in the lead. Fata and Swindle will have a skirmish over the rune, and again, Swindle secures it. Fata in kind of an awkward position, but he will live. Meanwhile, on the other side, Z-Freak left behind in the jungle and just obliterated compliments of that decrep.
That was some synergy right there. That's a hero that's normally quite tanky, but his HP is actually not that high right now due to being support. He doesn't have any treads yet. He's pretty much just squishy to magic damage, so it's good synergy against him. I like it.
Even just 1 point in that decrep, the Shuriken Toss and Fade Bolt, that is a huge amount of burst damage. All right.
In terms of farm levels between the carries, Sven is not caught up to Gyro at all, I feel. But the Shadow Fiend is far ahead of all of them. So I feel like Shadow Fiend is still going to be a big issue for Gyro, especially if he's able to get his Scotty before Gyro gets his B-Fly in the late game. Obviously, that's a couple items away, but we saw it last game. It made the Gyro completely useless if SF did get that Scotty picked up. So that's really the timing that I think is going to be more imperative here, because Sven needs some items to be useful, but it's really just Mask of Madness and a BKB before he starts four-shotting some heroes. So maybe not quite four-shotting, but as long as Sven gets a couple, I think he's still going to be relevant here.
Well, he's got the Mask of Madness completed now. It's on the way via the Courier. Still a ways off the BKB, but his farm is in that middle ground. Not amazing, but still very recoverable if they can take a decent team fight or two. Still haven't really seen Complexity play around this mech from Swindle Melons, though. And when a Shadow Fiend picks up a mech this early on, it's definitely not for farming. That's a sign you want to group up and team fight. And, well, as I say that, they group up as 4 here in the top lane. Moon will stay down bottom and try to defend this incoming push from Bone 7 and Eternal Envy. This could end up being good for Complexity if they can get a free Tier 2 tower out of this, and could possibly even come back to defend if C9 commit for this bottom tower. The Wall of Replica already deployed preemptively here.
I don't know if they can even win this fight, honestly, because they've already used the ultimate of Sven. They're lacking that damage pretty massively, and now they need to back up. Their Observer is up. They're going to spot out the Bounty Hunter. Can Fly get a solo kill? No. They're going to get tracked, so this is tough. Most of Complexity is moving towards the top tower, but they're a lot more hesitant than they were in the last game. They don't have as much wiggle room by having the Wisp there. Anyone that gets initiated on is much more likely to die. They don't have as much movement speed to use as positioning, so this game is much harder for them to take an advantage over C9.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams will kind of be stalemated there at the Tier 2 towers. Aside from that... Oh,
I'm sorry, it was Fata. I thought he was going to set up top. My bad.
Okay. Yeah, before that last fight, it seemed like they were doing such a good job keeping this Bounty Hunter at bay, where Big Daddy's been leeching experience here and there, but only 1-1 and 2. That's still a pretty low KDA for a Bounty Hunter at 16 minutes.
It is, but it's been 3 of the 9 kills. It's a semi-kill participation. I think it's all right, but it is a bit low for sure. I think it's just that the game is kind of weird. Complexity is doing a lot of aggressive farming, and they're trying to take these towers, and I think C9's not always completely sure where the enemy team is. Yeah,
and that was more of a praise of how Complexity have not overextended to give Big Daddy opportunities to find free kills rather than accusing Big Daddy of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Just hasn't been an easy game for the Bounty Hunter. There haven't been too many opportunities for him to get little pickoffs here and there. For the most part, Complexity have a very beefy lineup.
I like the smoke they did here. They spotted the C9 one with their ward, so they waited about 20 seconds, and they use their smoke. They wait for the C9 to break, and then they go for the initiation. There's the war cry. The charge as well. This should be Bone 7 dying no matter what. Very, very easy kill. And this could lead to them taking a tower. 42 seconds left for Pugna. He's very high leveled because he's a fast farmer, so this is the advantage that Complexity wanted. They immediately send Swindle Melons back to the mid lane to continue farming, and they're just distributing their time